Now we're... I don't know why this game is behaving like that. Well, it's only on my screen that it looks odd. Okay, so... Sorry, we had a little bit of a technical difficulties at the beginning of the stream, but now everything is fixed and is looking as it should be, and we're going to enjoy ourselves a little bit with this game here. So, Islanders is a nice, puzzly, roguelike game. I wouldn't say roguelike, but, well, I really enjoyed the predecessor. And I felt like streaming a little bit today, and therefore this game crossed my mind. So we're going to go for a new gameplay here. And you always get an island and a score goal that you need to tackle. You get building packs and you need to set them up as efficient as possible. So the brickyard, for example, wants the vicinity of the sand pit. The sand pit can only dig sand in sand areas. So we have to set it up as good as we can, and then the brickyard in the vicinity of that. As you see there, this is how we get points. I think I can make the sound a little bit louder. So it's a pretty cool game in itself. Very chill, but also pretty challenging to make it into higher levels. And here you see, getting too close to the other sand pit gives me a penalty. So placing down things is sort of a finicky thing. If I don't manage to get enough points, I will not get another pack, and then I will lose the game. So every time we break a threshold, we get to choose new items. So, the seaweed farm doesn't like fishing spots. Okay. And this monolith here is omnipotent and does boost everything. So, let's put up a couple of sea fields. Oh, look at that. There we go. This is easily one of my favorite little time killers out there. Let's put it down like this. Brickyard and brickyard don't like each other either. So here's another sand pit. There we go. That works out quite decently well. So, brewing pack or city pack? Okay. Now let's start building the city. I think I made the whole thing a little bit too low here. I made my sound settings as I usually did them, but I did not see that this game has such humming ethereal noises here. So, well, for this time I am combining mansions with houses. No, I'm not. Thing is, mansions and houses don't play nicely with one another. That is why the mansions get their own city center. Can't put the city centers too close to one another again, due to spacing issues. Let's see. Down here is not possible. Over here on that island? Let's do it like that. It's gonna be fun. So, it's going to be the Mansion Island. Houses have this sort of a Tetris-like character to themselves. So here we can now go to the next island. That's obscenely loud then again. Ah, well. I'm not going to go too hard into score attacks here. I'm going to go more for a progression run. Boya tactics, hi there. So today I'm more like in a chill out mood, but this game is really fun if you like puzzly things. So, luminescent and Apaya, place them within line of sight of each other, but far apart to earn the most points. Versus Sauna on a fantasy. Sweaty fantasy sounds way more like WoW I want to be. Sweaty Fantasy Island. I'm stopping. Alright. Brewing versus seaweed. Brewing is what I really like to get up very early on. Because... where's my monolith here? Jeez, this island is pink. This is... disturbingly pink. Okay, how does this thing work? Stairs must be connected to water, and it is interacting decent with all kinds of houses, except for mansions. They don't care. So... it has to be like this, I see. Whoa. Why does it interact with trees? Because it looks nice to look at trees, I guess. It's the only shot I got. Brickmaker with all the shores I got. Yes, please. And that's the fun part for me about this. There's a lot to optimize if you are less into the cozy aspects and more about the numbers like I am. There's really a lot to optimize in this one. So there we go. City pack, nice. So the fields that we now get will all go into this farm here, and as you see here, the fields get more and more potent the more of them we get. I really like this interaction. So, city center right next to the monolith, and let's see. We need to build our houses a little bit more downwards, I guess. Ideally there. So I learned that we need to go mansions then up here. Why? Because the houses get a bonus for the sauna. The mansions don't. Rich people don't like to get naked, I guess. I get that. So, lumber packs. These interact decent with those trees. And if you feel like this looks already satisfying to watch, wait until you play it. Seriously, it's one of my favorite casual games, and I was very, very excited to see when this one got a sequel. And yeah, recently I decided to do a little bit more featuring for cool small games. Not only the big stuff you see, also the smaller things, the more casual things that you don't need to sink thousands of hours into. I mean, I love complexity games, and we all know that I do. Oh, I got a boon. But sometimes these things are also pretty cool. Oh, I take that. So boons are extra bonuses that we can pick up that we can then apply. For example, the increased area can be very, very useful. For example, for the sauna. Ooh, look at that radius. Oh, baby. And you can use that for all manner of funky things. But I am very, very tempted. So what does it play not nicely with? Fishers and seaweed farms. It's actually pretty easy then. But we've got to wait until we have got more population here. So, seaweed. So we learned that the sauna doesn't like seaweed, so... Oh, don't want to accidentally boon the seaweed farm. That would be such a waste. We're going to put the seaweed farm at a nice remote location. Where it doesn't bother anybody. Ooh, a lighthouse. So lighthouses love to sit at high spaces. That's what we're going to do. Still waiting for that second town center, but it somehow doesn't want to come. Let's stack up mansions up here. Mansions get weaker and weaker the more they stay among their own, so to speak. they get better and better the more you mix them with other luxurious buildings. As you see here, there's a plethora of items that you can place. Yeah. But for now, well, like I said, I'm playing progress-oriented. I'm not going to score, trying to score too hard on specific maps. A mill. So, looking for a spot where we can drape up a lot of fields around. I even gave up a point extra here for the extra space of fields around. Because the mill is just the same as all the agricultural buildings, the more fields you can drape around it, the better. So that's that. So, yeah, turns out I need to place down my houses and mansions now, even though I don't want to. So sad. That's okay. Oh man, this little space here is driving me nuts. I'd love to build something in there, but it doesn't come together. It just doesn't. So, plus 12. I'm going to start to line up the houses now here and build a combined city center. Why is that one specific sound so loud? I mean, maybe we can drape down the effects a little bit. We're going to go to the next map though, like I said. I am playing progress-oriented today. And this island was offensively pinkish purpley. I didn't really like the tone. It's not that I don't like the color, it's just so pungent somehow. Boons also grant points when used on the Tundra Aurora, Mountain Shrine, versus Tropical with the Temple. We're going to take the Tundra Aurora. Totally want to try that one out. This is what I personally really like about this part specifically, the new sequel here. The many different island types that we got right now. So, the Mountain Shrine. What does it like? Temples, Shaman, City Center, Pyre, Monument, Hut, House, Mansion, Park. So, this is definitely going to be something that we are not going to place down yet, because we would be only getting a fraction of what we can't get later. Hello?
How do you breathe?
Through my nose and my mouth. They're asking weird questions here, but I guess the air isn't as good as I think it is in here. Yeah, now that is too low. Okay. I want to hear my coins when I get them. So. Danke. Kannst mir gerne einen bringen. Hab ich nichts dagegen. Ich bin hier irgendwie festgesetzt. Alright, so Brickmaker versus Brewing. I think I'm gonna go for. Let's see.
No coffee.
No.
No milk.
Ah, I see.
Ich wusste nicht, dass das der letzte Liter ist, als ich den hier
Ich schon.
aus Kakao angeboten habe.
Alrighty. So there's no coffee because there's no milk. People that don't drink latte don't understand. Okay, so the brickyards are kind of weird. We don't get any sand pits to work with them. We just place them down, I guess. We can combine them with masons, sand pits, and warehouses and statues, but that is really not much. So we're going to do a wacky placement like that. Finally, a city pack. I've been waiting for this. So we got houses and mansions. So So, yeah, I want to fill this platform here definitely with housing. Let the housing Tetris commence. Seriously, this is so much fun. I love Tetris, alright? And placing down the houses like this is sometimes somewhat frustrating because you have to guess what fits and what doesn't. For example, here, on this angle it does fit, and on this one it doesn't. Here, that part seems to be wider than the other one, but whatever. Here we go. Hey, Poet. It's a roguelike city builder score attack puzzle game. Sorta casual, but it's one of my all-time favorites. It's the sequel of an already great game. There we go. In the previous version of the game, you didn't have that many different island types to explore. Oh, dankeschön.
Ja, ich will auch Kaffee.
Ah. So it's not just because of me. Alright, so the Mason, we have learned, likes the company of the brickmakers. So we're going to try place down a brickmaker like that. So we at least get 2 of them covered like that. There we go. So the goal of the game is very simple. You just try to get the most points out of what you place down. But it is oddly satisfying. It's all I can say about this game. And on top of that, it is also dirt cheap. So you really don't have to pay much for your entertainment here. Alright, what do we have? A wall platform? Demolish. No, I want to have the platform. That's just so useful for what we're doing here right now. Oh, a lighthouse to accompany my my mountain temple eventually. So the lighthouse doesn't like buildings. Alright, so we put it outside of the city. Just like that. What does the lighthouse like, though? Unblocked rays, obviously. It's gleich. Seaweed farm. Can we place that into the vicinity of where seaweed farm, probably? Yes, we can. Look at this. Gorgeous. There we go. So... Ah, the Mason does deduct from the mountain temple here. The mountain temple was better before. I gotta be careful about that. Seems like I am worsening my situation instead of bettering it. But I think the more urban buildings we set up here on the platform, the less this gets, the less this becomes an issue. Farming pack out here. Crazy horses. That does even work. I don't mind. So probably not here because I don't want to destroy all those trees. They are very useful in the long run. City would be really good here. So let's try out if we can place down those fields where we only get the windmill here. Alright. I feel sort of scammed. This is a weird map. That's all I can say. So... there's another brickyard. Okay, so yeah. Agriculture, but no fields. Hey, Joe, welcome. Yeah, it's always like that. Once I say something like, oh, I never have time for this and that, somehow, weirdly enough, it starts working out for some reason. Glad to see you, mate. There we go. Ooh, this one was even an achievement, because I put it down into such a narrow corner. You see, shaman, they love to be cornered and encroached and being in a very, very uncomfy little space. They're weird like that. And this was the reason why we didn't want to kill the other trees. There we go. It's only small time points, but it's okay. I'm doing great. Vacation was really great for me. And after a week of breaking down with a severe cold, I mean, who doesn't know it after the holidays? You spend some time being ill, because that's a thing. And yeah, now I'm full of new ideas and all eager to get shit done this year. And yeah, it's a good feeling. Complete this island. That is not cool. A statue, though. Another one. That's cool. They don't like the vicinity to one another, but we can put one statue here. Boom. Can we please get another city center now? No? Fine. So, ideal placement of these would be meaning that we're putting them into the vicinity of several woodcutters at once. The cool thing about this game is that pretty much every building has sort of a learning curve, which means that there is a lot of optimization room for improving your performance here. Summer colds are terrible, yeah. I still have a little bit of a blocked nose, but nowhere compared to last week, when it even when I even had so much mucus in my throat that I wasn't even able to speak. So this is the worst for my job, because, you know, the only cure against that is to shut up. So yeah, so I did. But that's not how you earn money. But I did play a ton of Against the Storm, on the other hand, and there's the city center that I was waiting for. Perfect. So now let's build the rich kids' quarter, full of mansions and other funny bedoodles. If you don't believe that bedoodles is an actual word, probably right, but I don't care. Because I have learned enough about the English and American language that part of it is just making up things as you speak. And the Jabberwocky does approve. Anyways, so our mansion plot here doesn't really work as well as I wanted to. Plateau, though, on the other hand, can get us here more area. That's going to be quite excellent once we need it. Another city center is available. Tell you what, we're going to utilize that. The mansions get the most effect while being close to the city center. You can also go for a formation where you put the mansions into the close border of the city center and then start topping it off with houses. This is actually quite realistic too. Why is this so effing loud? And the rest isn't. I hope it doesn't bother you guys as much as it does me. Okay. That's been number 3. Yeah, this is also the first of a new series of streams where I start to promote a little bit more of the really smaller games on Steam below 500 reviews. Because, you know, I really feel like there's so many games out there which are genuinely good, but fall off the table of the mainstream content creators. That is where I come into play. So, lava. Lava can be fun too. So, lava or temperate? Lava is such an interesting environment. Although temperate would have been easier, sort of, or more logical. So, yeah. As you see here, we don't have that much building territory. So, look at that. Is there another one of these somewhere? Nope. But since they don't piss off each other super hard... There was a 9. I saw a 9 there. Give me back my 9. It locked into the 9. There. You see, we can now place down a sawmill which is interacting with 2 woodcutter camps, and that is, at the end of the day, worth more. But here goes the city center. And let's try that, what I mentioned in the previous, on the previous island. So, brewing pack, and this is what I've been talking about. The land does expand itself automatically, and it's so much fun. So, obviously, we can only put stuff on these. All right. Another city center popped up. This will be quite useful once we get there, but currently it's not the time for that. Okay. Farming pack. So we can farm on this hellscape, yeah. So farming does work here, but not on the tundra. Now you know. Why? Because the game said so. That's why. Alrighty. This house doesn't fit into my building plans at all. I was wrong. It did fit quite decent, actually. So, Shaman versus Mason. Yeah. We're gonna find some uncomfortable tight corner for you, buddy. Don't you worry. So... City center and Mason is bad for him. Well... This is looking better. This would be excellent, if not lava fall. Let's take that one. Biz, hi there. Yeah, it's a very, very nice little map with lots of magma and volcanism pushing up new pieces of land and all. So here I decided to share a little bit of my pastime activities. This is what I'm playing if I am not trying hard to learn new things. Oh, fountains. And this is one of the games which also fits perfect, a perfect, how to put it, we can call it. It's a perfect hybrid between a complexity game and being casual. Because in all honesty, all the things that you can do extra here and all the extra placements and all these things, there's really, really a lot of things going on under the hood here to be really good at this game. I just play like I see fit. I don't even think that I'm doing a particularly good job at it. You get the idea. So, let's see. The fortune teller is earning me more the more buildings I have currently in my building. Yeah, fortune tellers be like that. Parks. From Dust? No, but thanks for the recommendation, Bez. I think I have heard the name, but somehow fell off my table. Happens, sadly, too easily, quite quickly. Blossom. To make all trees blossom for 2 points. This is really great. So, plus 22, plus 26. The real fun part here is that they now count both as flowers and trees, which can be utilized by future buildings quite hardcore. So... I love about the lava map that you don't know where the land will be when you start playing. You have to guess a little bit, and I find that extremely interesting to manage. So the hut does like shaman, statue, lighthouse, seaweed farm. Okay. Whoa. These guys really fit into the most tight spaces. Nice. Basically set them between those posts here. Look at that. Yeah, building placement is also one of these endless things you can do in this game, as you see. There's so many things involved with that. And also random shapes, as you see there. Every item from the same category has different possible shapes that it can take. So, the tower. The tower basically likes everything which is part of the city. This is why I like agriculture. Because from time to time you can just get those fields and you can casually plot them into your system and earn basically something like free points, in my opinion at least. They're very free. So... this is a nice spot. I always try to put my huts at places where nothing else can be put, you know? Make full use out of their squiggly nature. There we go. I never played Black and White, to my, I have to admit to my shame. It just passed by me in a phase where I wasn't playing too much computer games in my life. And when I was again, it was already old and, you know, not really... It didn't age that well back then. Okay, that sums it up quite decently. Alrighty. So, I'll put the tower here into that narrow area here. Because my city platform up here is slowly hitting its capacity, the borders of its capacity. We need to put up a new city area elsewhere. And here is already the first mistake that I did. I shouldn't have had done it this way. Instead, it would have been much smarter to put the city at one end of the island to make sure that I can place down 2 cities on this island, which I now can't. Which will probably bite my back a little bit, but yeah. This is the learning process that I've been talking about. Hello, Kage no Oni. Welcome. So, fortune tellers don't like each other, but we actually get more of these even. Nice. Alright. Nice new island. No.
No, I milked the supermarket.
Was? Was hast du mit dem Supermarkt gemacht?
Ihn gemolken.
Ah. She milked the supermarket for those who didn't get the pun. Hm?
Hast du noch eine Tasse?
Ja.
Du hast einen Kaffee bestellt, glaube ich.
Ach, du bist die Beste. Vielen lieben Dank. I might even get a coffee delivery here, guys.
Und hast du deine Kasse schon ordentlich in die Kasse genommen?
Nein, meine Tasse habe ich noch nicht in die...
Kasse in die Kamera.
Ich habe die Kasse noch nicht in die Tamara gehalten, weil es ist ja noch kein Kaffee drin.
Ist dein Schwert
Alrighty.
kaputt?
Oh.
Ja, ruhig.
So, there we go. This is finally far away enough from the city center, and we... well, it won't fit as that many mansions around it, but the old city center was already pretty bloated and not really taking new people here. So we can take that one here. Yeah, and as you see there, the little island here is getting closer to the border of its capacity. A tavern, hell yeah. So, get another little one of these. So, the tavern plays nice with all the urban buildings. But I think I want to place down another fortune teller while I can. While I still have that many items on my hand, I mean. There we go. And now... let's place down the tavern. Profits from the brewery as well, obviously. So mills compete with one another, so we don't want that. We can't put one up here. So let's see. This here will rise soon too. A circus. Well, if I remember correctly, circuses were good with housing, but bad with mansions. Exactly. It's something for the plebs, you see, to go to the circus. The rich people don't go to places like these. Okay. Probably not the best placements here, but it's decent enough. These little huts, these are so great. Hey, Hyorin, welcome. So happy to see you. Precious metal pack, which is cool because I have precious metal here. So the jeweler does require the precious metal mine, exactly. Alright. There we go. If I would have a boon that increases the radius of something, that would have been now the excellent moment to roll that, but whatever. Just noticed that I have those shrink boons too, that I didn't use at all. So let's see, I have a couple of mansions left that we could place down. Let's see how they... Oh, I get a new boon pack. Ah well, score multiplier is also a nice one. Definitely worth it. Yep. That got us somewhere. Market. Dankeschön. So, yeah, it's a Soulstone Survivors Cup. And it came from the people that made Soulstone Survivors as a thanks for my many talking points about the game, I guess. It was really, really nice of them. It even came with handcrafted soulstones, but my son does now own them. You know, the good things to the children. Give it all to the children, I think. It's a good choice. Even your soulstones. Yeah, the merch finally arrived. The sad thing was it arrived broken partially. The figurine was sort of smashed under the weight of the coffee cup. That is how severe coffee is, guys. Don't mess with the coffee. It's crushing you under its weight. Anyways, should be on our best way to win this map. Ooh, mountain shrine. Didn't we learn that these are pretty badass? Let's see, can we shrink this thing? Look, it's a mini shrine now. So yeah, it sadly doesn't really fit into our build anymore. So turns out the altitude does matter? Is that? I get this. This is just. I shouldn't have picked that package, I guess. Well, luckily I have the most crafty of all people at my side, and she was able to fix it, and Licia put some super glue on it, and the action figurine is now saved. So I think I have drafted probably the worst items that I could possibly draft. They are all good, but they don't fit into my build anymore. I have severe spacing problems that I didn't properly take into account. But nothing is lost so far. We're just going to start to build the city elsewhere. I still have so many city centers and other buildings left. We should be fine. But I feel like this showcased really nicely how quickly a relatively successful situation can keel over and turn into something bad. Because it doesn't look too dramatic because I almost won the map already, but, you know, if that happens too early to you, it really kills you. Walls. It's the first time that I have them in this run. In the previous version, we had I loved walls a lot. Shrink the wall. It's not really shrunken that much, eh? Okay, so walls are not too good for tiles like these, I notice. The claustrophobia of this map is really not too good for the stuff that I drafted. It's only a few more points and then we're good to go. But, well, we got a lot of parks. Maybe we can do something with that. Parks luckily do interact with trees, too. That was close. That was uncomfortably close to a loss. My coffee's suddenly tasting spicy. I guess my wife spiced my coffee up. Thanks.
Schmeckt's?
Mhm.
Gar nicht probiert.
So, more lava and cliff houses. Or tundra and temples. No, cliff houses are so much fun. So later tonight we're going to have some Modemancer streamed. That's going to be the second stream for today. But that will be during the night hours on my end. And this is the other template that you got for the lava map. As you see there, this is going to be one without volcanism. So, yeah. I really love what they did for this game. It's one of the times where you just see a sequel, and all the sequel does is the same that the previous game did, but better. This is how sequels should work, you see. And it's really a welcome breath of fresh air here. Ooh, they have a badass coloring too. So, this time I'll be smarter than the last time, and I'll be looking at where do I have a lot of space to build my city at. I also have here a precious metal deposit, so let's probably work towards there. So mansions will be built towards the gold deposit, because, you know, that's what rich people like to do. And cliff houses will be built in between. These are really, really cool. Don't have that many cliffs here, though. So... ah, well. It's gonna be okay. Mansions towards the northern part of the city and... lumber. Yeah, not Mothmancer. Mothmancer is also cool, name-wise, but not a game. Modemancer. It's basically fantasy Factorio. I really can't sum it up differently, and I love every bit of it. And the developer is also a very, very passionate person who's taking their job extremely seriously, and it's exactly that kind of people that I like to support. So, as you see there, point gathering is not really easy anymore. We don't have several packages ahead anymore. We're just scraping by, basically. Houses are always for me, or housing in general is always for me the last resort of expansion. I try to do everything else before I start building housing. Mainly because housing is the most bloated part of your city building process. So, we finally got sandpits. Huzzah. Alright, turns out these things here are supposed to be beaches, eh? But there's not much of that. Is that all? Is that really the only beach that I got on this forsaken place? Seriously, this one strip here is all the beach that we can muster? Instant regret, man. Instant regret. Yeah. This is the local sand pit, guys. This is as good as it gets. I feel like the person selling me that pack has scammed me. I can't get rid of that feeling. Anyways, so... we're probably gonna die very soon. So to really succeed now in this challenge, I will need something that gives me big time points. Something that really, really helps us out in scoring nicely. Oh, these hexagons are really, really meanies. Okay. So with our cliff housing, we can place down our buildings just like that. And use spots which are usually unusable. But you have to have the right timing for them. There has to be a lot of neighborhood for them to really shine. Just like we start to rack it up here. I played the previous version of this game really a lot, and if I remember correctly, Lucia did so as well. Islanders 1, I think we spent a lot of time with. This is really one of those games where you can easily sink a couple of hours into and before you even notice that you did so. I really like this type of casual gameplay. Is getting not enough love these days, in my opinion. Yes, we have to settle down with something suboptimal now. I'm really, really not that ahead of the curve right now. But the real cool part about the cliff housing is that it allows you to build super dense housing areas. So the shaman, you can probably... 35 points. I think this is as good as it gets. This is what I've been talking about. These placements, they get you ahead of the curve. I just got a lot of points, and now I just need to fill a very, very low amount of points for the next rank there. GC, thank you. It's really nice of you. Especially to hear that you are around since several years. That's really cool. Happy that you enjoy the show. Sometimes I find it so surreal when people start telling me that they're watching my stuff now since years. It reminds me that I am actually doing this now since quite a few days. Sometimes it feels as if I just started a couple of days ago. That's why it feels weird. But time flies, as people say. And it's actually a thing. So, oh boy, it's really, really bad. What I need is a new town center, which we can string up or rich scum mansions around. Because they really don't work well without city centers. That's their See you later, poet. Yeah, I think I'm now in year 6 or year 7 even. I find that crazy too, Joe. I find that as crazy as you do. So, look at that, a new lumberjack. Nice. So let's see where we can get the most out of it. So this guy here is already sort of taken. Yeah, I think this little mini forest here is the best bet. So, yeah, this whole place wouldn't work without cliff housing. But even with it, it's really a rough ride at this point. Threshcanics. Nice try, man. Nice try. You are one of the very, very few who even have witnessed my my League of Legends streamer evolution phase. And that's been a very, very long time from here. And I'm slowly dying. This run is not going well. I can already see it. "2019. Yeah, that was even before the pandemic hit. That was that one period of my life before when I considered doing what I'm doing now. And when the pandemic hit, I took that consideration and made it the real deal. So what I did wrong on this map entirely is that I didn't respect the fact that these gray tiles are entirely unsuited for city development. This is now severely biting my back. Prevents the next time a building would get a negative score. Okay. Bargain. Select a building to get a copy of, but your choices. Okay. But we can't copy something. I am desperate enough to copy a city center, would you believe? So, we do need another city center, someplace where there's room to build a city around. And I choose you, Obelisk. I mean, this does give me some chances of further survival. So, you're not married anymore? I just hope that it's a good thing for you, because sometimes this is a bad thing, sometimes it is a good thing. I just assume that it's been a very good thing for you. So, if not, well, I hope you get better soon. Because I gotta say, especially people that are around for such a freaking long time, I start to care about you people, you see. That's what we call a parasocial relationship. They even got words for these fancy things by now. But jokes aside, I mean it what I say. I even remember that one game we played together, and where I realized what kind of illegal things you can do with Thresh. You showed me a couple of things that humanity shouldn't know. Good job. Seriously. I never want to play against you. But League of Legends is also a game that, well, don't know. It's self-destructing itself since many years. I try to like it because it's one of the best MOBAs that is out there, but it's still not good enough to really recommend it to anybody. I didn't really quit. I wish I could, but there's no game as good as it in that specific genre. You don't. It doesn't get much better than that, and when it comes down to MOBA PvP, it's just, you know, most other games are either lame, don't have the player base, or both. It's really tricky for me. But the big problem is that Riot doesn't give enough of a shit about their product anymore, and they let so many toxic things grow rampant, like account sharing and trading, and it has grown to proportions which are just not digestible anymore. Yeah. I keep coming back to it because I really like the game and the dynamics, but yeah, they had better times. Well, to get into League, you have to study it and make it the center of your life for a couple of months. And then you can finally start enjoying what you're doing. It's basically the Dwarf Fortress of the PvP games. Well, the worst thing about League's current iteration is, some people will call me a conspiracy theorist for it, but I am absolutely convinced that this game has by now what we call engagement optimized matchmaking. Because there's a wonderful little magic trick happening. I always dominate my enemies with 20 kills ahead and whatnot, and then suddenly, next game, a weird player pops up with no gaming experience whatsoever, playing the same role as I do and kicking my bottoms. Eventually, I lose way more LP than I gain each game, because, weirdly enough, I get to kick bottoms one game, and then I get kicked again because that magic pro gamer pops up every time, because I don't know why. And so, Thresh, Mechanics, you've played with me. Am I a bronze silver player to you? Because the current matchmaking says so that I am, and keeps me there with this weird interaction. And I could change it by just playing bajillions of games until I get that lucky game where I finally get carried out of this misery. But seriously, I got better things to do with my life. Like earning money and having good times instead of miserable. Yeah, and I didn't get worse than back then. I even think I got much better than back then. Much, much better. Compared to where I was when we played together, I even consider myself a pretty bloody noob. But League of Legends matchmaking system has started to analyze your performance, and if you are performing way above your current MMR, I am convinced that the system constantly thinks I'm smurfing or elo boosting my dear wife, and that's why we get shitty matchups constantly. And this makes the game really not fun. It is not that I'm complaining that I can't win. I just complain that the games are just not fun if I have to play always against something which is everything, but not bronze or silver elo. You know? That is something that I'm absolutely convinced, because whenever I meet somebody native to that elo, I spank them to the bottom of their fountain again. And I immediately realize. So, it's an entire heaping steam pile of BS, the matchmaking. And that's why I don't really find the stomach anymore to really get into it. Which is a shame, because the game is still fun as hell. Oh, Biz, I was peaking at Platinum too back in season 8 or 9. So I've been even somewhat close to the so-called...
There you go, Joe!
to the so-called higher elo, or medium elo, depending on how arrogant you are. So, yeah. I don't take any false illusions, but me as an AD carry main, I can only say playing in low elo is so miserable, because you can't rely on anybody, and you're playing the most reliant part in the team that exists, and yeah. Doable, but has nothing to do with fun anymore, whatsoever. And considering the run here, I said I am dying soon, but quite the opposite is the case. I'm still alive and kicking. Must be all the hatred for League keeping me alive. And this was one of the weird cases where Oh, I could have... Oh, I could have went with a neighborly mod. Oh, I'm so stupid. Alright. The boons are new to me. I'm not used to using. Yeah, Kage no Oni, this is exactly what I think the game does. The algorithm realizes that I am winning too hard against incompetent enemies, and then the game automatically puts me against people that are my skill level, which is cool and all, but that is putting me against the worst people mentally wise. I don't mind their skill, you see. It's really not about the skill of these guys. The worst thing about people that buy their accounts in League of Legends is that they just don't give a damn about what they're doing, because if they get banned, they just buy another account for $2. And that is, to me, the real problem. Want to come back in October already? Damn, our hotel services seem to be really excellent. You came coming back that quickly. Yeah, Joe, you're always welcome. You know, just let us know early enough, and we'll make it possible. Can't promise if it is too short term, but I think I don't need to explain that. I'm sure you understand. So, to my big surprise, it seems as if we are surviving this misery quite decently. I love this game. It's so cathartic, and as you see there, I can do a somewhat decent job while ranting about my MOBA experiences at the same time. Isn't that great? I mean, not many games can provide. Yeah, Trishcanics, exactly. These people. Or my personal favorites are always the people that lock in stuff like Wayne with a level 30 account, and then they play pixel perfect, constant farming under pressure, don't do anything rash, don't fight the bad fights ever, don't get tempted into any bad movements, and then the enemy jungler comes on by and that guy solos the entire team. Yeah, sure. Average level 31 Wayne. Everybody knows that. I did that bajillions of times. No, I didn't. But you get the idea. To me, these people are nothing but legitimized cheaters that Riot Games is not willing to kick out of the game. It is just legitimized cheating at this point. Because people can't just buy the account, and it goes as far as I've heard that by now you have a money-back guarantee even by some providers, which means if your account gets banned, you get even your lousy two euros back for your account. So I think the integrity of the ranked games is entirely lost.
That losing coming about because the dog is waiting, the kid too.
Yeah, I'll be out of here in a sec. Well, what you missed, Threshcanics, was, sorry for the ads, I need to make a living, was that I complained about those magically popping up players that have almost no experience but soloing the entire team while they're playing a bronze and silver game. The difference between diamond games is that you're surrounded by people who have absolutely no clue how to stop that Samira Nautilus Smurf duo from doing what they're doing. And all that remains is a miserable experience where a couple of people just don't wanna surrender. Under no circumstances. It's 30-4, but we will never surrender. Never. You hear me? Ever. Okay, enough about that. I still love the game, and I will... Now, it's just like with cigarettes, now I just want to play some League. It's weird like that, but I guess the brain's wired like this. Anyways, my friends. So, I don't know how many of you heard it in the background. I've been softly pushed towards ending my run, because my wife and the kiddo want to take a walk with me. So, Yeah, losing more doesn't work either because the algorithm does evaluate my actions and not so much my actual game outcomes. It writes how many clicks per second I do, how good I play. It is impossible to trick these systems by now. They're too perfect at analyzing a human being in how they perform. No chance. You can't trick that anymore. Riot doesn't want me to boost my wife out of low elo. That's what it is. I'm
Yeah,
not allowed
definitely
to.
the worst player of the two of us.
But
There's a
you're
mushroom out
not
there
that
with
bad.
your name on it.
Not that bad, no.
Have fun on the
I
walk.
don't think I'm playing bronze, no.
Thank you,
Apparently I
Dredgen.
do.
You're so kind. Oh man, that's so nice of you. Thank you. You guys are really the greatest. And yeah, I will have fun on the walk because I love my dog. My dog is basically something you guys made possible because I was always wanting
This
a
is
dog.
very personal.
Come on, Joe. I want to leave. How am I supposed to leave when you're doing that, huh? That's so nice. You guys are really great. I was just
This is
about
very personal.
to talk about the dog. Come on. So the dog was made possible by the community. That's what I wanted to say. Because I wouldn't have been able to afford this little beauty without the support
This
of you
is
guys.
very
So.
personal.
And I grew up with a dog. Dogs mean a terrible lot to me. And she's the best out there. Sorry for you guys if you want to get a dog for yourself. The best is already here.
This is
But
very personal.
the second best is definitely waiting for you. And they will convince you that they are the best and not mine. Don't you worry. Anyways, thanks for hanging out. I'm gonna be out here now.
This is very personal.
Unless somebody pins me down now with even more kindness, then I have no other option than to stay and finish this volcanic nightmare. But, yeah.
This is very personal.
I really, really appreciate you guys. And I had a very, very good chat today. Even if I did a lot of ranting now. But I'm a German. I like complaining.
This is very
You know, that gets my gears shifting. And, yeah. In that sense, thanks you all for the good time. And see you all on the next one. And compounds me, thank you. Worthy sub. See you all in the next one. I'll be around in a couple of hours for another stream where we're streaming Modemancer, which is basically Fantasy Factorio, which is criminally underrated, and I'll show you why. So for all of you who are interested, I also got a Ko-fi page that I have newly hosted, so check it out. Links are everywhere on my bio, on my video descriptions, and feel free to take a look at that too. So, thanks for